Artificial insemination is the process of taking semen from a boar, extending it, and injecting it into the cervix of a sow you wish to impregnate. It is important to know that pigs are year-round breeders, and their estrus cycle is 21 days long. Some things to think about when you are going to AI a sow are: is she in estrus or standing heat? When will she ovulate? How to handle your sows correctly? What equipment is necessary? And the anatomy of a sow. We use artificial insemination because it allows us to use less sperm to more sows than if we allow the boar to naturally mate the sows. However, it is suggested to use natural mating for older sows because it sometimes takes more sperm for an older sow to get pregnant. In order to decide when your sows are in estrus, you will need to know and be able to recognize the signs of this event. 1 is standing heat. 2, a red or swollen vulva. The sows will become more vocal than normal.
All 3 signs of estrus are easy to check for. To check for standing heat, you can either apply pressure to the back of the sow, or you can run a boar into the room. In both cases, if the sow is in standing heat, she'll become visibly rigid. When trying to recognize a red and swollen vulva, look for a redness compared to the usual pale pink and excess puffiness. Last but not least, when the sow is exposed to a boar, she should become more vocal if she is ready to be mated. The signs of estrus caused by exposing the sow to the boar are caused by pheromones let off by the boar. Knowing when your sow will ovulate concerning estrus is one of the most important things. Behavioral estrus, when a sow is showing signs of estrus, lasts about 2 to 3 days, and the sow usually ovulates near the end of estrus. You'll want to AI about 12 hours after the first signs of standing heat, and usually you will want to do a second cover around 24 hours later to make sure that your sow gets pregnant. If you don't know when your sow is going to ovulate, you will unsuccessfully AI, which will result in a waste of your money.
Handling your sow correctly can make all the difference when it comes to the production on your farm. Patience is very important. You do not want to stress your sows at any point of the production cycle. If a sow is stressed, it will be difficult to conceive, and if she does conceive, she is more likely to abort. When you are ready to AI, you will need to be aware of what equipment is needed and the anatomy of a sow. You will need an AI tube, which in the case of a sow will either be the shape of a corkscrew or will have one ridge. Lube. If lube is not used, it can cause the sow pain when you try to insert the AI tube into her vulva. Semen. You can order semen from different companies. For example, in New Deal, we get our Yorkshire semen from Birchwood. Your semen should be labeled with a batch ID number, the date, and the extender letter sequence. Anatomy is important to understanding why the AI tube is in the shape it is, but is most important in the actual process of AI. It is important to understand that a sow's cervix, which is the site of semen deposition, is corkscrew shaped. Therefore, you cannot just shove your AI tube into the cervix because it would not work correctly. There is a very specific process when it comes to artificially inseminating your sow.
First of all you want to is heat check your sow just to be sure that she is going to be receptive. When you are sure that she is standing heat, you will put the lube on the end of your AI tube, apply pressure to the sow's back, and begin to insert your AI tube into the vulva. You want to make sure that the tube is angled slightly up. You do this because the tube could slide down into the bladder instead of into the cervix, and then all the semen inserted will be useless because it will be excreted with urine. As your AI tube enters the cervix, you want to turn it slightly counterclockwise. This is where the anatomy becomes important. Turning the tube will allow it to slide into the cervix, or it will lock itself in place. Once you think you are all the way in, pull very gently on the tube. If you have successfully inserted your tube into the cervix, you will feel pressure against it. Once you are in, you will remove the cap on the semen and insert the end of the bag into the outside end of the AI tube. Slowly and gently squeeze the semen bag until it is empty. When it is completely empty, you need to fold the tube over and hold it at an angle to allow what is left in the tube to drain it into the cervix. When all the semen is drained out, you will remove the AI tube slightly by twisting it counterclockwise and pulling it out. You repeat this process when you're ready to do it your second cover.